Calling All Platforms is a production of Supporter Sound Studios. To learn more about how you can support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/callingallplatforms.
Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland. Oh boy, let's do this.
Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean...
Put it in somebody's pants and have them sit on it.
Switch on and switch off. Oh, sorry. I'll go back to my hole.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
I'm just so used to barfing right now.
I really don't see Apple ever doing that.
I am the devil.
I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing. Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast. I am your host, Wes, and I'm here with Landen.
Hello.
And Caleb.
Hey!
And we are here to talk all things tech this week, you guys. Who's ready?
Yay!
Wow, so excited. Come on, we got to be a little more enthusiastic about this. Listener, we are starting a little late, and Caleb was waiting for about an hour for us.
Yep.
So his enthusiasm has been shot.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Shot out of the sky like Duck Hunt. Boom. Whee. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's talk. Let's talk about Microsoft for a little bit, shall we? We're going to talk about some Q4 earnings.
In Q3.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, in quarter. Microsoft does it differently.
Obviously.
Many things differently, ladies and gentlemen. If you just now listening to tech, yes. Yes, they do. Anyway, let's talk about it. So they did report their fiscal year Q4 earnings for 2019. And they're reporting a revenue of $33.7 billion, net income of $12.4 billion. Lots and lots of money. So they're succeeding. A couple bullet points I wanted to point out of this. One, Surface revenue has grown by 14%, totaling $1.3 billion, which is interesting because they say that this is actually coming from the commercial segment, and I don't remember anything really being released on Surface that's new and hot that this would increase. So I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting. I mean, good for them.
Yeah, I mean,
They haven't put anything out in a while, and it's still going up.
Anything worth that doesn't have a gold Pentium.
Right.
But yeah, so cool.
Although maybe it's the Surface headphones. I don't know. That's the most recent thing I can think of.
That is true.
And those got really good reviews, so I don't know.
Maybe, but $1.3 billion of headphones. Okay. All right, moving on. Azure revenue grew by 64%, with Microsoft's entire intelligent cloud business bringing in $11.4 billion in revenue. Sweet. So obviously they're making more. I did see the other day that they are partnering actually with AT&T on their cloud service and stuff like that. So
interesting.
Yeah. So that's big there. And gaming revenue actually declined by 10%.
Wow.
With Xbox software and service revenue also declining by 3%. They said that about 48% decline in Xbox hardware revenue was primarily due to the decrease in volume of consoles sold. So obviously no one's buying consoles.
It's because everyone's waiting.
It's the end of a generation.
Right.
This happens every time.
That and the all digital kind of was a flop.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised that their services went down. Like, that's not good.
Well,
you would hope that would at least maintain.
Well, it's interesting. In the same time, they said that the software and services went down, declining by 3%, but Xbox Live monthly active users still saw an increase of 14%, so bringing the active user base to 65 million. I'm going to assume that's Ultimate, Game Pass Ultimate, from people signing up for free, so I don't know if that's getting revenue or they just, if that's, hey, everyone signed up for Ultimate, so but they gave it away for $1.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like that. But then they did mention they're like some games just didn't perform as well. And I mean, Fortnite, I guess, didn't perform as well because that was the last thing that made them money. But interesting stuff. They do have some other things on there for like Office of revenue growth. The cloud services grew by 6%. Office commercial products grew about 14%. things like that. They also have what's Microsoft Search Advertising, saw an increase of 9%. So I guess it's okay.
Well, to be fair, I'm contributing to that like a lot more than I ever have before.
Oh, doing your searches? You're searching over and over for rewards?
Actually using Bing. searching for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade every day on my phone. One letter at a time.
Mine is Super Mario Brothers the movie.
There you go.
I just do that.
I have a different phrase for my computer so that I can do it as fast as possible. It's a phrase that can be typed entirely with your left hand. So my right hand can be sitting on the mouse and the return key so that I can sit there and just constantly click back in and go as quick as possible. And that phrase is, "We were arrested after Dad ate deer eggs." So that's a phrase you can type entirely with your left hand on a keyboard, in case anyone was wondering.
That's a very interesting phrase.
I would not have ever thought to do that, but good on you.
It works.
It does. It gives him his points.
It's fast.
Yeah. Click. Yeah, wow. Anyway, what he's doing, listeners, in case you haven't heard, Bing searches can give you some points, which points can be redeemed for gift cards in the Microsoft Store or for Game Pass or many different things like that. So that's what we do with that. I do it as well.
Yeah.
Except I have different phrases. So that's kind of funny, though. You ever done supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
No.
Go ahead and try it once.
That would do. That would pretty much cover all the mobile points for a day, though, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Do it over and over and over, and then you can spell it really well, and people think you're weird. Anyway.
That's not why people think you're weird, but okay.
What? I mean, yeah. Anyway.
One of many reasons.
Anyway, so that's the Q4 earnings that I wanted to talk about, that I feel that I wanted to point a couple things out. There's a lot more they did talk about. Obviously, I skimmed over quite a bit of more enterprise things that they were saying and partners and things like that. But if you do want to look up that information, you can get it pretty much anywhere. You can get it on Microsoft's site, Thurrott.com, Windows Central, if you're interested into more detail things of the 2019 quarter 4 earnings. All right, let's move on here. We're actually going to move on over to another company, Netflix. Now, this actually happened a little bit earlier in the month, but I was gone last week, so I wasn't able to report this. But Netflix is adapting Cuphead into a new animated series. Cuphead is a video game that was created in what would be the best, in a style that looks like it's drawn cartoons that have been drawn in the 1930s.
Like
40s,
30s, 40s. It's
the animation is awesome.
Old Disney stuff, super old Disney stuff.
Yes. And just so happens that Netflix talked to Studio MDHR, which is the studio that made Cuphead, and they're collaborating together to create the Cuphead show. And what they said that this show is going to actually be is going to be a lot like, there's not going to be a storyline. It's actually going to be like how in this Cuphead world, one episode, it's kind of like how Mickey Mouse in one episode could be an astronaut, or Mickey Mouse in one episode can be a gardener, or something random each episode. It's going to be in the similar vein of that. So there's not going to be really any big tie-ins, say like with the game. They said it's just going to be its own thing and just in that animation.
Interesting.
So basically what they wanted to do was make a 1940s era Disney cartoon. Bingo. And they just decided to tack the Cuphead name onto it because brand recognition.
Yeah, brand recognition, and probably Disney cost more.
I mean, To be fair, that's kind of what they did with the Castlevania show too. So, whatever.
That was a pretty cool show. I'm just going to say I enjoyed that.
That was.
I did. But I thought that was pretty cool. So if you are a fan of Cuphead or know of what it is, thought it was kind of cool, this might be something up your alley if you like those cartoons. Or if you like if you subscribe to Boomerang and then watch all the old Looney Tunes, this will be right up your alley. So I don't know if the Looney Tunes are on Netflix or anything, but
not that I know of. I wish they were.
The old school ones are pretty cool on Boomerang. We've been watching them, and they are not edited.
Even better.
So as an adult, I'm like, wow, there's some interesting things in here that I would have never caught back in the day, and I didn't. So I was like, I remember this episode. It was the episode of Bugs Bunny. No, I'm sorry. It was Daffy Duck, and he's in a Nazi garage. He's an American in a Nazi garage, but he's hiding as a Nazi mechanic. And it's this guy that likes to yell Schultz, like really loud, a Nazi guy. And so it's just this bickering back and forth. And so if you ever see that episode, I wish I could remember what it was, but I was just like, interesting things that are on the garage wall that I never would have caught as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, interesting. Anyway. All right, moving on. So next thing I do have is actually two things of some gaming news. So I'll leave it with the gaming when we get to that section. So let's go ahead and let's have Caleb tell us all of his wonderful news that he wants to talk about this week.
I thought you said we were saving gaming for after all the other stuff, because I got literally nothing.
Oh,
outside of gaming.
Outside? Okay, never mind. Well,
like,
that's all the news that Caleb has for us, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's like there's like all it's rumor mill time, right? Which means like all the iPhone rumors are going crazy, and I just can't bring myself to care at this point. We already know what the phone's going to look like. Like, I'm just going to wait till September and see what they say about it.
Wow, he's so enthused.
So there you go. That's Apple news for this week. Nothing happened, which is fine. Stuff happened last week. I'm okay with missing a week.
Okay, that works. Well, let's move on. Landon, I believe you have some kind of news, right?
I do have some news.
Okay.
I'm in the same boat when it comes to Google News. Nothing happened except for rumors because, again, it's that time of the year.
True.
Yep.
And I just don't care that much unless it's a significant rumor. Like, Google actually showing the phone off. That's not even a rumor. That's just kind of the thing. But
yeah,
unless it's something like that, I just don't really care. I'm going to wait
Yep.
and see what Google has to say about it.
True.
I'll look at the rumors, be interested. I don't need to talk about them. If you care, go find them. But something I also don't really care about, but just because I needed to talk about something. This past week, there was something called World Emoji Day. Because that has to be a thing nowadays.
That's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And the Emoji Consortium, however they pronounce it, has released the new emoji that's going to be coming out in Emoji 12.0. And there's some interesting ones. One of my favorites is the little, they're calling it the hand or finger pinch, but it's basically like signaling something is very small, like very little.
Wait,
I kind of like that one.
We're actually at the point of we're announcing emojis.
Yeah, I know. That's how slow this week has been.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the Emoji Consortium has been doing this for a while.
I guess I just haven't paid attention.
Like pretty much every year they showcase whatever's coming out, and that's when Google and Apple and other companies that draw their own versions of the emoji, like they put those out there so people can see them and get excited because that's something people get excited about. In the general world.
Some people get excited. You know what, listener? If this is something that you get excited about, I'm not trying to talk down to you or anything like that. It's just I can't relate, but I'm happy that you're happy. So
yeah. I will second that.
There you go.
I can't relate, but I'm happy that
I just like looking at the new interesting ones. It's like, oh, that wasn't there before, or oh, interesting that they would think that needs to be there.
Yeah.
Like a skunk wasn't there before. It's coming.
Couldn't they just use the poop?
I mean, probably that's what most people would do, but
Yeah.
But now there's skunk, actual skunk.
Well, I guess there's money in it. I mean, you think about it, that poop emoji, I had no idea was there, but it's everywhere. You can get a costume for that emoji. You can get That's amazing. So I guess there is money there. I guess you're right. So I guess they need the next big thing.
Yeah. Also, some other ones that I thought were interesting. Sloth is coming.
A sloth?
Yeah.
Like Sid the Sloth?
Well, an actual sloth, but yes.
Now I'm depressed.
I mean, if you could go try and make your own for Sid the Sloth, I guess. I don't know.
I was gonna say it's when it comes as a character from the Emoji Consortium, which is an extension of the Unicode Consortium. That just means they're adding a character to Unicode, which is just a series of bits. in a grouping of 8, it's a single byte that defines a character, and you can display that however the snot you want. So go ahead and make a font, Wes, where the sloth emoji pops up as Sid the Sloth. You can totally do that and install it on your computer and type. It's just nobody else will see that when you send them messages. But you can do it.
You can do
Have
it.
fun.
Sweet.
You should install it so if anybody comments on our website with the sloth emoji, it comes up with that.
Ooh, yes.
That is a possibility.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's a couple more things I thought were interesting. They're going to make emoji for service and guide dogs. So that's kind of cool.
Okay.
Also, people in wheelchairs, because that wasn't on there before. So they're going to do like wheelchairs or motorized chairs or stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Kind of showing a little more inclusion.
Yeah.
That'll be coming out with the new operating systems this fall with iOS, the new iOS and the new Android that'll be coming.
So I'll get that in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. The next thing that I wanted to talk about that I don't really care about, but I thought was actually more interesting than emoji. Snapdragon has announced their newest processor called the 855 Plus. And this is actually geared more towards the gaming phones. So this, Wes, you might be interested in this a little bit. The only really big differences here is this can be overclocked to 2.9 gigahertz as opposed to the 2.96 gigahertz as opposed to 2.84 gigahertz and the regular 855 processor. And also, the Adreno 840 GPU is 15% faster in this processor.
Cool.
Other than that, it is basically the same as the 855. That's why this is just the Plus version.
Yeah, it just gives it a little bit extra.
Yeah.
I really want to see some synthetic benchmarks of this thing's integrated graphics versus some of Intel's integrated graphics, because
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet, like, we're talking processor clock speeds up that high with integrated graphics that are supposedly 15% faster, that puts it dangerously close to like i5 integrated, like,
Yeah, seriously.
Iris 610 integrated graphics territory. Like, I'd be interested to see that comparison.
Well, that could happen sometime soon because the new Asus ROG Phone 2, their ROG gaming phone, is going to be using this processor. It has been announced. I don't know what the release date on that phone is, but it is
Sweet.
going to be having this 855 Plus processor. So that could, in theory, be tested if somebody that has that phone does it.
Interesting.
So, Wes, go buy this phone.
Okay.
There you go.
This $1,000 phone.
Our resident gaming
here's your
phone
homework.
user.
Hey, I'm gonna. I'll do it. I try and push this one to the max.
Yeah.
And boy, sometimes I can definitely see. I know this has probably got the biggest battery, but sometimes when I'm like, just bump up those the frame rates and bump up that the processor, and then all of a sudden start a game, and I just see that battery just.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. I mean, it looks
Yeah.
nice, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the first generation ROG phone was actually really interesting because that was the one that had like 3 different USB-C ports on it, wasn't it?
I think
like,
it had at least 2.
It had one on the bottom, like every phone,
Yeah.
for,
Right.
just normal usage. And then it had another one on the side, but there were like 2 of them right next to each other.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
so that they shared the same housing on the side. And it was like only one of them was a normal USB-C port. The other one was used for like charging and extra interface speed or something like that for
Yeah.
the ROG peripherals. But that was a really interesting phone. Though from what I have seen, you can actually take a USB-C cable with that phone, at least in the first iteration of the firmware, and plug it into the bottom port and then plug it into one of the side ports, and the phone would register as charging.
Charging itself.
So infinite energy. Asus cracked it.
They
I don't know.
figured it
Anyways.
out. That's amazing.
That is actually interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's an interesting gaming phone, and it makes sense. That's the first place we would see this coming, would be from Asus. So
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm genuinely interested. I know that synthetic benchmarks, there are synthetic benchmark suites that are on Android that are also on Windows, and I don't know how closely the performance really like transfers between those two, but I would still be interested to see some benchmarks, some pass mark stuff on both of them, just to see how they compare.
I mean, is there an app right now or game that actually takes advantage of that? Like,
I don't know.
I just wondered if
Stadia.
in an article it could.
Well, not even Stadia, because that's all in the cloud.
Well, I was going to say,
know.
I don't think xCloud or Stadia could do that. I was like, I mean, there are some that
xCloud
on here.
and Stadia would take more advantage of like the GPU and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But processing wise, no, you don't need that for that. So yeah, I don't know. It'd have to be a downloaded game from the Play Store. There might be, but I don't know.
I wonder if Fortnite. I know Fortnite's not on the Play Store, but you can sideload it. But
right. I mean, in general, any app can take advantage of this because it's going to make the phone more efficient. Having
right,
but
right.
It's just a matter of whether something can take full advantage of this processor.
I actually wouldn't be surprised at all to find out that most games on Android have been developed the same way that games on Windows have been developed, which means that they will basically fill up any hardware you throw at them, because they haven't been coded with a specific set of hardware in mind. With consoles and stuff like that, you're building a game for an Xbox, you're targeting two consoles. You've got your One X and you've got your One S. With PlayStation, you're targeting the 4 or the 4 Pro. And that's it. If you're making a game for Switch, you know exactly what the hardware everyone's going to be playing on is. And so you basically code the game to run exactly for that hardware, and you don't bother optimizing it to run on any additional hardware beyond that, because what's the point? But when you're developing a game for PC, you pick some target hardware. You go, okay, I want somebody with a 750 Ti and like a i5 2500 to be able to run this game at like medium settings around 60 FPS. And so you code it to hit that level, but then you also build in the technology necessary for that game to go, oh, shoot, I've got a 2080 Ti and an i9 9900K. I clearly can do much, much more. And so, it bumps up the quality, it bumps up the graphical fidelity, it bumps up the frame rate, everything, and it will fill up whatever hardware you throw at it. That's how games on PC are developed. And because Android as an environment, the phones are so wildly different in hardware specs. Like, I think they probably do the same thing where they basically say, I want anybody with this level of hardware in their phone to be able to run the game, but people that have nicer phones, I want them to get a better experience out of it. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they code the games that way.
That would make the most sense.
I guess that makes sense how Razer does their little game booster, actually, now that you mention that, because I basically can say this game could take advantage of this much RAM or this much processor, so that kind of makes sense. If I throw more at it like that, it just does it. So
yeah. Like I wouldn't. There's no point to there being quote unquote gaming phones if the games themselves can't actually take advantages of those improvements. Like, there's just not really any reason to do it. And the fact that so many companies have done it, I think that really speaks to there being some validity to that idea that putting better hardware in a phone does in fact make the games run better, and not necessarily just like, it's smoother or something like that, but like it looks nicer, the frame rate is higher, and so on and so on.
That's true. I guess when I downloaded that Nintendo one that you play, that RPG one, can't think of it now.
Oh, Fire Emblem Heroes.
It actually asked me if I wanted standard pack or high res pack, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Didn't think of that before, but yeah, okay.
Which, like, oh man, the images in that high-res pack are fantastic. Like,
yeah, they're cool.
Those are the ones that I can pull up on my iPad Pro and be like, oh, that's gorgeous. That's like a painting. Nice job.
So, cool. New processor, new hardware. We like.
Yeah. The last thing that I want to talk about is a little app that has once again become popular in the world. It's about a 2-year-old app. I didn't realize that, but it is. It's called FaceApp.
Yeah.
There's some news going around about this app that I want to clarify some things on. So, a lot of people, I mean, obviously, it's kind of a cool app. You take a picture, take a selfie, and it can make you look younger or older, or if you pay for it, you can add facial hair, makeup, or whatever, just a bunch of different things. Change your hairstyle, color. It's kind of cool. And the process that it uses actually, it's some sort of machine learning and AI whatnot. And it is actually pretty accurate and works really good.
Pretty well.
But some places, and it's funny that this is coming up again because, like I said, this is a 2-year-old app, and it just all of a sudden got popular again. I don't know who initially started this round of, hey, download this app, but it's been this past week. But a lot of news sources are saying how because this is made by a company based out of Russia, and because they get access to you have to grant access to your camera roll or your photos album or whatever, that they are automatically taking all of your photos and selling them to the black market and doing all this bad stuff. When in reality, yes, you have to grant access to your cameras just so you can upload a photo to it, basically, or take a picture. But they get access to the one picture that you upload to their cloud servers. And this is, the sources that I've come from, I can't remember the first article I read, but he actually interviewed the developer and did his own research on the back. Like, he tested this app in certain ways and did a lot of things. And then also, if you listen to the iMore show, it's an Apple-based podcast. And coming from them as well, like, they are, partially because they're big Apple fans, they're really big on the security and privacy and stuff like that, because that's, Apple's big thing forever has been privacy and security. But what this app does is it takes the one photo that you upload and it puts it on their cloud servers for 48 hours, and then it's deleted after that on their server, on their end. And it makes sense, because if they were to keep millions and millions of photos, their servers would be bogged down like crazy. Yes. And it would make this app completely useless for pretty much anybody after the first week of it being popular. So they're not obviously taking all of your photos and selling them or whatnot. They're taking the one photo, throwing their AI at it, and then after a couple days, deleting it, and it's gone. So you don't have to, they're doing less with your data than anybody in, like, at Facebook or Google or other places, especially Facebook. People don't question at all. Oh yeah, I'll upload this photo to Facebook, but I would trust FaceApp more than I would Facebook personally. But it's because it's a Russian-based company. It's funny because if this was a U.S. or European-based company, I doubt it would get as much attention. There are certain implications for it being Russia and whatnot, but everything that I've heard, and especially like I said on the iMore show, these guys are very picky about their privacy and what apps they download. Pretty much every one of them has used this app, and they're like, yeah, it's a fun app, I might download it again, because they actually used it 2 years ago when it first came out. They're like, yeah, it's perfectly fine, if you're okay with giving your photos to Facebook, you should be okay giving your photos to this app.
And that's kind of the thing right there. Like, that's the nail on the head, is that, like, the big stink really started when somebody pointed out that in the terms and user agreement for FaceApp, there is a line that there's a clause that basically states that any photos you upload to them, they're able to, like, they basically own the rights to those photos for unlimited reuse if they want. And that's like, yeah, sure, that's kind of annoying and that's frustrating, but cast your mind back about 3 or 4 years when everyone realized that Instagram and Facebook had the exact same clause in their user agreement, and basically any photo you upload to either of those sites, they can use it wherever they want for whatever reason they want. And the fact that they don't is kind of like a courtesy, because that's legitimately what you signed. That's the legal document you agreed to, and you clicked on the checkbox when you created your account. And every time they update that thing and they send you an email that says, hey, we updated our user agreement, and you just ignore it, this is the kind of thing that you're agreeing to. And yeah, like, FaceApp can take any photo that they want, and honestly, probably what they would do is they would like, oh, that's a really good one. That's a really good photo. We should use that in an ad or something like that. That's probably what they would do with it. Nothing super malicious or anything like that. They honestly don't care about what your photos are. Like who would? Whatever. They're making money off of your in-app purchases. That's all they care about. But when it comes to advertising, they might definitely like skim some good photos off of just people randomly, and there's nothing you can do about that. And yeah, sure, that's kind of annoying, but it's also not any different than any other social media network out there right now. So
yeah,
I don't know. And then everybody, like, oh, that's a Russian company, and it's like those are the people that just they thought they had something impressive there, but like frankly, the Russian internet is like a massive like black hole of unsavory, unmonitored stuff. The government in Russia is not that good at controlling the internet. China's a completely different story. If it was an app from China and somebody was accusing them of spying for the Chinese government, that's a reasonable possibility. That could definitely happen. But Russia? I doubt that.
Yeah. So, if you had your suspicions or worries or paranoia about FaceApp, it's not that big of a deal.
Just delete your Facebook and you'll be fine.
Right. It's like you're not necessarily crazy, but if you also have an Instagram account, then you're a hypocrite. So
yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So that's all of my tech news.
Fair enough.
And all of my news. I don't have any gaming news. Not that should be a surprise to anybody.
One of these days he will.
One of these days Mario Kart will get released on the phone.
Oh, I want that game to come. It's so much fun.
All right.
I still have it somewhat downloaded on my phone.
You still launch it?
The icon is still there. I launched it once after the beta was done, and it says, sorry, the beta is closed. This game will come out at a later date. I'm like, ugh. So I see it every now and then on my phone. I'm like, oh, I want to play. Please, Nintendo, bring me this game.
That's awesome. Well, you could always get that new Dr. Mario World.
So I initially thought, yeah, I'll download it, but I never played that game back in the day.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, the nostalgia factor is not there. And I watched people play it, and it never really seemed super interesting to me either. So I'm like, I'm fine without it. I haven't downloaded it yet.
It's okay.
I might eventually, but I don't know. We'll see.
It's okay. It's full of in-app purchases, so.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and get into some gaming. Let's talk about Nintendo some more. We'll talk about the Nintendo Switch, and it launches a refresh on the original Nintendo Switch. A refresh to battery life.
Ooh.
Yay.
That's always a good thing.
So it says that the refresh model comes with increased battery life, offering up to 9 hours of battery life compared to the previous 6.5. Nintendo says users can get anywhere between 4.5 to 9 hours of battery life on the refresh Switch, with games like Zelda Breath of the Wild offering up to 5.5 hours of playtime. On the original Switch, you'd only get 2.5 to 6.5 hours battery life, and around 3 hours of playtime on Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Ooh.
So if Wes were to buy this new updated version, his kids would get all day battery. They'd be able to play on the Switch all day.
They love that Mario Party. They really do. But yeah, so I think that's pretty cool.
That is really
that's
nice.
Good.
Yeah.
So this is some people are saying this is the refresh that they thought that was going to be the Switch Pro. So, but no, this is good. It's going to give more battery life, give it to the people that don't have it just automatically plugged in already. And sometimes most of my kids, that's how they play the game. They just have it docked and playing. So we don't really mess with the battery life all that much. So, but if you do like it, the portable on the go, you might be interested in this new version. I tried to see if there was some way of actually knowing if it is a newer version one. I haven't found the exact, if there's like a version 2 or something yet. I tried looking. I don't know. Because obviously there's going to be stock of the old one, and they're going to want to get rid of that first.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm not sure. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
That's something to be careful for, then, listener. If you're in the market for a Switch in the near future, maybe double check the battery life listed on the back of the box or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't really say how it's going to say new model or version. So, but if you're going to want to find this, I would definitely try and find the way to look on the box and be like, or who knows, maybe they'll change the box. We don't know.
Yeah, could be.
So we'll see. But that is coming. The next thing I did want to talk about was more Xbox Game Pass titles coming. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. Let's see. So let's see, right here we go. We have the Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom. That one's coming to the console.
Isn't that called the Phantom Pain?
Yes, sorry, I forgot to say Phantom Pain. I apologize. The Phantom Pain.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy.
No, you are crazy.
Well, okay. Fair point.
Which a lot of people really enjoyed Metal Gear Solid, so I never did get into those games. Did you, Caleb?
I can't bear the thought of playing any Hideo Kojima games simply because I know that I would probably enjoy a lot of them, but be absolutely incredibly frustrated with other parts. Like, I'm sure that I would enjoy a whole bunch, but I would also absolutely hate some of it. So I've just never tried. I'm not. I'm keeping my distance for a reason. But I've heard good things. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. All right. The next thing is another Resident Evil. This is the Resident Evil 4. That one's going to be coming to Game Pass later this month. And they've actually got 6. They've got 5. They don't have the remake that just came out, that Resident Evil 2 remake, but they've gotten quite a few of the Resident Evils on there, so people really enjoy those. The next thing is Killer Instinct. They are bringing that to Xbox Game Pass, but I think with this, since it is a free game anyway, but this allows you, because you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, you should be able to get some of the characters. I believe it includes 26 characters from seasons 1 through 3. So this is Killer Instinct Definitive Edition for Game Pass for console and PC. So cool. If you like those fighting games, they're pretty fun because they include like fun little things like General Ram from Gears of War. And then, of course, one of the Battletoads is on there, and they add multiple different characters in their own, so kind of fun. All right, next thing is For the King for Game Pass console and PC. This is just a strategic RPG that blends tabletop and roguelike elements in a challenging adventure in either single player or online or local co-op. So kind of cool. Now, none of these are saying I'm going to assume that they're going to be on the same server. So if someone's on the PC and someone's on the Xbox or the console, you guys can play together. I haven't verified that for sure if you can or cannot. But
I know for a fact Killer Instinct, yes, but the rest of them, I got no idea.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Killer Instinct, you can. All right. Also, those Banner Saga people that really enjoyed the first and second one, Banner Saga 3 is coming to Xbox Game Pass for console and PC.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I better play those now.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I should start this, and then got it on the first one on there, and then the second one came, and now the third one. I'm like, okay, guess we'll add that to my backlog.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Night Call for Xbox Game PC. This one is a corrupted detective plans to pin a series of murders on you unless you can aid the investigation. As a cab driver working the Paris night shift, pick up passengers, listen to their emotional-fueled stories, and gather clues to solve the mystery in 3 unique cases.
Ooh,
that's for
I've
PC.
actually heard. I have heard of this game, and I have heard that it's very interesting and kind of like a her story type of way.
I would assume so from that description. But yeah, it's for PC on there, so cool. All right, well, those are the latest latest games coming to the Xbox Game Pass. So even more value. I know there's a couple that have left that I mentioned before, but I haven't seen any more that are going to be leaving here soon. But I will definitely keep everyone informed. So That's all the gaming news that I have, because I'm assuming Caleb will probably talk about the next type of gaming news. And if he doesn't, I'll bring it up. Caleb, take it away.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll find out if I do. Alrighty. Listener, if you aren't also watching our game videos on our YouTube channel, but you are interested in video games, then I would encourage you to head over to YouTube and look up Calling All Platforms on YouTube and watch some of those. I want to reference a video that was a first impressions I did of a beta on iOS that is like a month and a half old. It's not very old. So it's about the game Sky, which is the latest game from that game studio, which are the makers of Journey and Flower and Flow on the PlayStation. So Sky, Children of Light, it was in beta when I made that video and gave my first impressions of the game. It has officially released now. It released on July 18th or 17th, I want to say. So it's only been out for a couple of days, not very long. Is available on iOS, so you can play it on your phone, your iPhone, or your iPad. It has not yet been released for Apple TV, but in theory that should be the next platform, because that was literally the platform that was supposed to be exclusive for this game when they first announced the game back in 2017. So I don't know why that didn't happen, but it's also going to be coming to Windows PC, PlayStation 4, and Android sometime in the near future, in addition to Apple TV. So it's going to be spreading a bunch. If you really want details on what the game is like to play and whatnot, go to YouTube, watch the first impressions video. My first impressions still stand. Not that much has changed in the game since that beta I played. There's been a few changes and stuff, but overall, still the same game, but there are definitely a lot more people playing it right now, which is actually super great. The game is free to download and start playing. There are in-app purchases, mostly focused around getting cosmetics and that kind of thing, so not real heavy in-app purchases and that kind of thing. Your progression in the game is still tied to your skill, but also your ability to make friends in the game. Because if you don't make friends with people, there are some areas of the game world that are completely off limits to you. Like, you have to be in a group in order to go there. So, it's definitely got a very heavy multiplayer feel to it. So if that's not your thing, then I guess cool. But in-app purchases are not the reason you should stay away from this game. So check it out. And it's great. It's really great. Go watch the video if you want more detail than that. Okay, last piece of news that I have for I just really don't have that much. Overwatch. So, also on that YouTube channel, I talked about the summer games being live. We're not going to talk about that. We're also not going to talk about the Overwatch League, which means that I am officially going completely off script for everything I've ever done on this podcast in regards to Overwatch, which is announcing events and talking about the Overwatch League. So we're going to talk about the public test region in Overwatch. They did a developer update this past week and announced a new feature that is coming to the game called Role Queue. And what that is it's a new paradigm for quick play and competitive game modes. And in fact, most of the game modes in the arcade as well, in which when you click ready, you want to play one of those modes, it's going to ask you to pick a role. So either damage, tank, or support. And you pick one of those three, and then you're queued into that role. So that when they match you with a team and put you into the game, and you've got 40 seconds to pick a hero, you're only offered heroes from whatever role you picked. That's all you can go. And the way that the matchmaking system is going to be set up is it's going to be matching teams together as 2-2-2 teams. So 2 supports, 2 damage, and 2 tanks. And that is a fundamental shift.
That is huge.
Everything that Overwatch is. And here's the thing. It's not optional. It literally is not. If you're playing competitive mode, if you're playing quick play, even if you're in a group of 6 people, everyone's still going to have to pick. If you've got 6 people grouped together, you have to have 2-2-2 on the roles. Otherwise, your group can't queue. It's a big shift, massive shift. Wow. And I don't know, Jeff Kaplan is the game director for Overwatch, and he's the one that does all of their developer update videos. He said in there that he's all like, and for those of you that are worried that you're not going to be able to have any of the old way of doing things, then we're going to be putting a card into arcade mode called Quick Play Classic that's going to let you, continue to do things the way they are now, as long as you're in that one arcade mode. But here's the thing about that. In the competitive scene right now, there's a thing called GOATs, which, I mean, is one of those, it's the greatest of all time type GOAT thing. It's a team composition that consists of 3 tanks and 3 supports. And it's literally impossible with the role queue implementation, which means that it's the competitive players that are going to get hit by this the hardest. They're the ones that are going to be like, WTF, like we can't play GOATs anymore.
Interesting.
It's literally the greatest team composition of all time. That's why they call it GOATs. And it's now illegal on the public test region in Overwatch. And they're obviously going to be doing a lot of testing with this before it goes live. And they're actually going to be doing a really super short competitive season for just a couple of weeks as soon as this hits the actual, like they're going to put role queue into the game so that PS4 and Xbox One players can play it in addition to PC players, and then they'll do like a 2-week competitive season where they'll let people play this new paradigm and see if there's enough backlash to change anything, basically. But yeah, it's ooh.
What do you think? Good, bad? I want your opinion, because I'm actually interested to start playing again because of that.
I'm a support main, so I'm fully on board. Like I literally can't. I will queue up. I will queue up in support, and I will get matched into games basically instantaneously as soon as the next game ends. People who queue up in damage, they're going to have wait times between matches, and that's going to kind of suck for them. But you know what? I don't actually care at this point. I am just sick and tired of being the one support player on a team of damage people, and none of them will switch to tank or anything. It's like I can solo support a team. Like I really can, as long as there's some tanks. If there's tanks, I can do it. I can play Mercy or Moira. I can sit with the tanks and heal them, and then chuck orbs or fly across the map to the damage dealers to get them topped up and stuff like that. If I've got a Reinhardt or an Orisa or a Roadhog or a Zarya or even like a Diva, for crying out loud, just like a Winston, like I'll work with Winston. That's fine. About the only tank that doesn't really work for a solo support is Wrecking Ball. But basically anyone else, if there's any tanks on the team, I can solo support that team. But if there are no tanks, it's just me and a bunch of DPS, I can't do it. It's impossible. I don't. It's just, yeah. Maybe if I was like a world-class Grandmaster Ana player, I might be able to do that. Like I just get a sniping post and then snipe heal them across the map. But I am not that good.
No, that's just hurting cats, dude. No.
It's so as a support player, I'm actually really jazzed about the idea that on every team that I am a part of, there will be 2 tanks. Always. That's awesome. Because like I said, the only tank that I can't solo support a team with is Wrecking Ball, and literally one person is going to have to pick somebody other than Wrecking Ball. So I'm good. Like I'm set. Team composition is now my favorite thing, and it just means that if I'm losing matches now, I can't blame it on my teammates and their stupid composition. It's now my fault, or maybe not entirely my fault, but like it's definitely, it puts more of the impetus on me as a player to do well in my role, because I know that team composition is not fundamentally the issue in that match. So I love it. I am fully on board with it, but I can definitely see where a lot of the damage players are gonna have issues with this, and where a lot of the competitive players are going to have issues with the fact that they're literally being pushed out of what is easily the most popular, most long-lasting meta in the game to this point. But
it's definitely going to be interesting to see what comes of this. Like, but I don't know. It gets me excited. Like, honestly, it does.
Yeah. We'll do another Blizzard stream, and
probably soon.
And well, what the heck? I guess we'll probably queue in his 2 supports and
Get instantly. Oh, that's awesome.
It's all like, hey, you've got your support team right here. We have got you covered.
Just give me Brigida's flail because I use a controller, and I'm good. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Do not make me freaking Anna. That's nope.
That's cool. You can do Brigida. I will pick like Zen or Mercy or something, and
that's
we'll
awesome.
rock it.
I like that.
So yeah, there you go. That's all of my news.
Well,
all of it.
Let's continue talking about Blizzard, shall we?
Oh, okay. I missed it, whatever it was.
So, Blizzard Entertainment's co-founder Frank Pearce leaves the company.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, this is from him. He put this up on the Blizzard's website. He said, "The time has come for me to step away from Blizzard and pass the torch to the next generation of leaders. My journey as part of Blizzard community began over 28 years ago. Alan offered me an opportunity to join him and Mike in their adventure and dream to make video games. Video games were a passion that we shared, and I had only a fleeting hope that I would have the opportunity to make games one day. Everything I have done at Blizzard has been driven by my passion. I have worked very hard and very passionately for a long time. Now it is time for me to reflect and be thoughtful about what comes next. I plan to spend more time active in the outdoors. I'd like to learn to play an instrument. I hope to devote more time to aspects of my life that may not have gotten as much attention to the past."
That's a nice statement.
Yeah. We'll definitely see what happens. Time will only tell if he decides to do something with Mike again or whoever. So cool, I guess. It's so interesting when these characters, but people that have been working on games that I've been playing for years of my life are now leaving. I mean, it was huge for me when Metzen retired. But now you got these other big dogs that are just retiring, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And then for them to say like 28 years ago or 30 years ago, I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
dang it.
Yeah.
So, but no, I would like to wish him luck. I mean, all the people that I've enjoyed their games for, I wish everybody luck that have founded Blizzard and contributed and just given these games to me, and I'm sure Caleb as well.
Oh yeah,
it's been amazing. Yep. So we wish him luck from our podcast to him.
StarCraft and Diablo 2 fundamentally changed my life. Okay, maybe not like fundamentally, but I get it. Definitely played a hand.
I played a lot of StarCraft, and my first Blizzard game, actually, that I didn't really know was a Blizzard game, it was just kind of a cool game that someone was playing at their house, was Warcraft, Orcs and Humans.
Yes.
I had no idea what it was. I just thought it was cool. You could move guys around. I was like, oh, you can build this. Sweet. Didn't think anything of it. And then I really got into it when my brother came home and he got a PC. I think it was from the school. They were just throwing them out. And he's like, oh, I'll get this. I can load this game on there. And I watched him play StarCraft and was just enthralled. The little brother, just right next to him, just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I cannot wait till it's my turn. And then he brought Warcraft 2 home. And I was just whoa. And then he brought Diablo. And he was I saw them play that at a LAN party. It was him and a couple of guys, and I came over as the little brother because I wanted to hang out, and I was just like, this is amazing. I never got to play it at the LAN party because they were all playing, but I was so enthralled. It was so cool. And that started my whole Blizzard adventure, if you will.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yep.
So cool. So, anywho, that's pretty much all my gaming news. I'm sure Landen's got something.
No.
Okay. I mean, I tried. But,
actually, there is one more thing I would like to mention. Because, listener, this is definitely not super part of the podcast or the stuff that we normally talk about, but I feel like it's important enough that I want to make sure you heard about it. Odds are you've probably heard about it from a bunch of other places, so cool. But as of recording this podcast today, which is Saturday, July 20th, so it's a couple of days later by the time you're listening to it, but it has been 50 years since we first set a man on the moon. And that's pretty cool.
It is really cool.
it's been a long time since we've been back, and that's sad. But a whole bunch of people, private companies, governments, everyone, has rallied around this 50th anniversary as, no, this is when we change that. This is when we actually take all of the technology we have developed over the past 50 years and put it toward actually putting people back on the moon. And I think we're going to do it, like, within my lifetime. I feel fairly confident that it is going to happen. Not only are we going to put people on the moon, but we're going to establish the moon bases that they've been talking about for so long. And I mean, Jeff Bezos is convinced that he is going to have mines on the moon. And you know what? I believe it. I think it can happen. So There you go. It's I don't know. Nothing incredibly historic has happened. It's a good commemoration of one of the most incredible things that humanity has done up to this point, putting a human being on another planet. And just a reminder that as a human, you really should, you should be looking up at the stars and wondering why we're not out there right now.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Also, to go along with that, if you didn't already see it, go search for the Google Doodle that they did basically all this week for the commemoration of the moon landing. It's a pretty good one. It actually is a YouTube video, I believe. So you could probably pretty easily find it, but just look that up. It was pretty good. It's about a 5-minute video talking with the guy that nobody really knows about that was involved with the moon landing. He was the one that stayed in the command module.
Yeah.
And did not get to set foot on the moon. But his perspective of it was really interesting.
I'll have to take a look at that. I didn't see that. That's cool. All right. Well, anything else, gentlemen?
Nope.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening, and we appreciate you. And if you do want to leave a comment or do want Caleb to talk about Apple rumors, go ahead and let us know on our website at callingallplatforms.com. Or leave a comment on our YouTube channel, too, and just say, Caleb, more Apple rumors. Yay!
Oh, jeez. Yeah. But first, you have to find a video on our YouTube channel that is related to Apple gaming. Do that. I dare you.
But what if they just put it on one of the videos? You can deny them.
Go to our Facebook page and do it there.
If it's not related to Apple gaming, then they're off topic. So, I might delete the comment.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Rude.
Fair enough, I guess. Anyway, but if you want to reach us there, those are the places you can get there. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening and have a good week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.